Boom. Varial synchronicity 444. Yes, yes, sure. What we saying? Get that out of the way. Try and slide it slick. That best can do for now. Right, let me clear my throat. Right. Everybody breathes, everybody coughs. So that's now thing. What we saying, people? Ethereal synchronicity, varial synchronicity, varial synchronicity 444. 444. So today I'm looking at not this guy specifically, although I could in a way, but no, he's gonna tie into who I am looking at, which is, well, I'm gonna go to who signifies him, Griselda. Well, not Griselda Blanco, Griselda Records, as in Conway, Westside Gunn, and Benny the Butcher. So these guys here are a hip hop outfit that are named or known collectively as Griselda. Yep, and from what I know, Griselda is currently under the management of Shady Records. So with this being the case, that's like their parent company, I think is the best way to put it in terms of their business situation. Now, to keep it strictly 100, yeah, full book, I'm not the biggest Griselda fanatic on the basis that I've just not heard enough of their music myself. That's because I've not listened to it, not because it doesn't exist, just because I've not found the time to go into other people's things, basically. And I say that because they've been talked about for quite a while, calling the talk of the town, talk of the industry, talk of the scene, call it what you like, yeah, but it's not news. Now, I think I put it before that I think just the name of them alone, it misled me to who they were or how many members there could possibly be within that group and what they were about. But I heard the name for ages and ages, to be really honest, yeah, but just didn't really understand because people weren't saying exactly what they did. They just kept saying it's that pure, that old school, that raw. Now, the easiest thing that I could straightforwardly liken it to that people would know straight off the bat is Wu-Tang. Now, it's not really Wu-Tang because it's more dope boy, as in kind of cocaine chopping up Brit Scarface, Tony Montana attitude than what I'd say Wu-Tang is. But in terms of production, old school, gory, like sound, cinematic kind of vision, it's definitely got that feel to it. So there's no question that all of these guys would have grew up on Wu. Like, it just goes without saying, they're about my age and they're in New York. So like, if we missed them, yeah, they would have been on another planet somewhere else. All of these guys originate from Buffalo, New York. Buffalo is actually an upstate place in New York, so it's not quite as the mainstay that most people know, or collective as the 5 boroughs, I think, but it is still very hood place, basically, from what I see. So Conway is the one with the birthday that actually falls the day after Griselda Blanco. So Conway actually shares a birthday with another famous person that we know, or in terms of the music hip hop scene, and that is Mr. Lupe Fiasco. So 16th of February 1982, gave birth to a couple of the bigger names in hip hop. So, I mean, let's see if we can get the chart number right. Well, it's 31. So that's Lupe, and that's Conway. It's basically the same chart but in different locations, so it might actually move things slightly. In fact, it'll actually show you just in the very slightest way. Yeah, so Lupe's chart is 2744, go 44. Conway's chart was 2741. So it's exactly the same chart, but because of the degrees of location of where they're born, it shows a slight alignment. So birth location as well as time is a factor in your birth chart. Let me find my clock, speak of the time. Okay, been on it too long. Okay, something I need to factor in actually with these guys is quite obvious for me. The 27th of July is Westside Gunn's birthday. He's like the curator, kind of, they call him the puppet master, or pulls the strings for the group. As I might have said, acts like the glue, holds them together. But his cousins, biological cousins with, and this is what I mean, their family must have a string of it. I'll say that my own does. And that's 27s. So one's the 27th of November, that's Benny the Butcher. He's 1984. So that makes him a Sagittarius sun, with the sun being at around approximately 5 degrees, give or take. And his cousin, biological cousin, Westside Gunn, is the 27th of July native. So that makes them 9 personality numbers. Or sorry, personality numbers number 9 for the two of them. If that make it any clearer for anybody to understand it. So yeah, different life path numbers possibly, but the personality numbers are the same. So it makes them Leo and Sagittarius, both fire signs, which basically gives them some compatibility in terms of being a partnership and getting along together. Now, from what I noticed, both Westside Gunn and their honorary cousin, who's almost basically family to them, Conway the Machine, have this Libra set up, which I think they work well in tandem in a partnership together, both having Mars in Libra and Saturn in Libra and Pluto in Libra and Pallas in Libra, from what I can see. I mean, let's have a look. Yep, same alignments. So they fit as a nice mesh. Yep. And they're also 6 months apart in terms of astrology signs. So your opposite sign is the one that is 6 months from the time that you were born, and in this case Leo is the opposite to Aquarius. If you see, one at one end of the polarity, one at the other end of the polarity. So there is something that each other has that the other can utilize, learn from and develop. There'll also be things that they both share as well. So that's the nature of oppositions. It needs to be balanced out. So you need a bit of what the Westside Guns bring in, and also what Conway the Machine brings to this partnership. And then Benny the Butcher comes in like the Superman Sagittarius, as I like to think. And though he come later to the party, typical Sagittarius fashion, he's doing it up differently now. Looking up to his older cousins who basically helped put him on game from the beginning. Now I'm not sure if I mentioned it, because basically I listened to some stuff, I made a take of this, and I prefer to keep it real, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go over myself again, but it is what it is. Westside Gunn had a cousin, and Benny the Butcher had a brother, and his name was Chine Gun in the group, and they knew him more commonly by Chine Gun, so they shortened it to Chine Gun. And Chine Gun basically passed away, about 2006, and he was basically the 4th member of that crew and quite an important person in that crew. Before their, well, not having a connection, but yeah, like he was that member of the crew. He was the significant part of it. I meant to say is he's Benny the Butcher's brother, actual like blood brother, significant brother. I think he was the older brother. Yeah, same age as or closer in age to Conway and Westside Gunn. So Chine Gun Black basically is part of the album title, which they have now released for Shady Records. So I believe they've released quite a bit of work, but none of them have been official albums on this particular label at this kind of standing. So they've called the album, titled it WWCD, which is a play on words from WWJD. So instead of what would Jesus do, it's what would Chine Gun do. Yeah? So that's kind of like to carry his name and honour him into the future. So I also wanted to big up Chine Gun from their crew, who would make up the 4th member. But someone who's also a fundamental member, and yeah, key to their sound, is a guy called Darringer. Now Daringer's like that Danger Mouse type character that hits the keys and just yeah, does his thing real nice, as Conway put it. And I had to just give him an honorary shout out from this. So, oh, and then because of something to do, well, I say something. Essentially, in music, you can't really use samples without it costing you a lot of money anymore in terms of hip hop, considering how many samples they like to use. So you have to now reproduce your sounds live. And with this being the case, from the documentary that I watched, I noticed that Daringer had partnered up with a guy from the UK called Beat Butcher. So big up yourself, Beat Butcher. You're out here. You guys ain't got charts up because it's a next level to get there, but they're fundamental at the moment to the sound of Griselda, so I thought I'd mention them too. Anyway, mentioned that they've got the same numbers, the fire signs. Oh, and that yeah, it's the birthday of Conway the Machine tomorrow and Lupe Fiasco. Their air signs, Aquarius. Anyone want to check with me that Aquarius is an air sign? It's an air sign. Anyone want to argue that it's a water sign because Aqua's in the title, or it's called the water bearer? Please feel free to come and argue. But like, you might be bringing some Vedic logic there or sidereal logic, but it's not happening. Aquarius is an air sign. Be thankful for it. Those that know. Anyway, Conway's a beast, and the same day that he's born, the other beast is Lupe Fiasco. So I'm gonna big them up, and yeah, I might get onto some other people born on days around this, Aquarius or otherwise. Well, I say thank you to everybody that's been following, liking, sharing, subscribing, you know, doing the thing and that. And yeah, esync444 on Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, and yeah, we'll sort something out for Facebook one of these days. But yeah, I got a little something, but it ain't the one right now like that. I'm gonna do something business orientated. I say that, yeah, but like, that's probably some technicality. So we'll see what happens in 2020 where that's concerned. Right, people, what I show you, the much love, the much blessings, the much everything that you can get out here. You gotta go for it. Ain't no one gonna just put it there for you. And if they do, you're probably gonna be slightly wary and suspicious as to what it is that they've put in front of you. So yeah, use good judgment in all things. Take care. Deuces.